Hey, this is Woodman here. I want to talk to you about doing good and avoiding evil, and why that's really important for living a rich, full life. In many Eastern philosophies, including Taoism and Buddhism, samsara refers to the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. This cycle is driven by karma and the law of moral causation. Actions, whether good or bad, create ripples in one's life and future incarnations. Pursuing evil, actions that harm others, disrespect, or malicious behavior generates negative karma that binds an individual more tightly to samsara, leading to suffering and further entanglement in the cycle of rebirth. Think of it as the lessons you do not learn, you will come back and repeat them over and over again until you get it. Evil actions such as causing harm, showing disrespect, and maligning others generate substantial negative karma. This negative karma acts like a debt that must be repaid, often through suffering in future lives. Each harmful action plants seeds of future suffering, which can manifest as misfortunes, hardships, or difficult life circumstances. This perpetuates the cycle of samsara, making it difficult to obtain liberation or enlightenment, right? How do we eventually break the cycle? This is where the importance of kindness and respect comes in. From a karmic standpoint, practicing kindness, respect, and non harm is crucial for accumulating positive karma. Positive actions create beneficial outcomes, both in the present life and in the future incarnations. By fostering compassion and understanding, individuals not only improve their own karmic prospects, but also contribute to a more harmonious and balanced world. This alignment with the principles of the Tao, or Dharma, helps in moving us closer to spiritual liberation. In other words, breaking that cycle. So, where does the non harm fit into all this, right? And again, I'm not saying that you can't defend yourselves, but non harm, or ahimsa, is a foundational principle in many spiritual traditions. Avoiding aggressive harm ensures that one does not accrue negative karma from causing suffering to others. It reflects an understanding of the interconnectedness of all life and the recognition that harming others ultimately harms oneself. This practice aligns with the Taoist ideal of living in harmony with the natural flow of the universe. If we're all fragments of the divine creation, we are all one in a sense. And so, therefore, it is wise to avoid disrespect and malice. Showing disrespect or acting with malice not only harms the recipient, but also degrades the moral and spiritual integrity of the perpetuator. Such actions create a cycle of negativity and conflict, leading to accumulation of bad karma. Respecting others, regardless of their status or actions, fosters positive relationships and contributes to a peaceful existence, which is essential for spiritual progress and karmic balance. It's not a sign of weakness, it's not showing weakness. Now, people may want to take advantage of that, and that's their problem. You don't allow yourself to be taken advantage of, but you also are not the one to instigate malice towards others. Maligning or defaming others without provocation generates significant negative karma. These actions can damage reputations, cause emotional pain, and create social discord. From a samsara standpoint, this negativity comes back to the individual, often magnified, leading to future suffering and obstacles in one's spiritual journey. Avoiding such actions is essential for maintaining a positive karmic balance. In other words, you will be revisited by the harm that you do in this life, as well as the next life, as well as future lives. So, why hurt yourself so much? Why do you keep doing this? Why don't you want to try to fulfill your soul's purpose? You think you're on earth for no reason? To fulfill your soul purpose, it is imperative to live in accordance with ethical and spiritual principles. This involves actively avoiding actions that generate negative karma and embracing those that promote positive karma. By aligning one's actions with the virtues of kindness, respect, and non harm, individuals can move closer to their true purpose and spiritual liberation. It's very easy to want to trick people, take advantage of people, steal from people, rob people, do all sorts of harm to people, but you're going to have to repay that karma. Repaying karma is an essential aspect of the samsara cycle. Karma is accumulated and it must be balanced out. It's going to be balanced out through experiences of a similar nature in this life or in future lives. Therefore, by pursuing good deeds and avoiding evil, individuals can mitigate the need for future suffering as repayment. This process aids in gradually reducing the karmic load and progressing towards liberation from samsara. Think of it as like getting a bunch of credit cards and you spend up all the money. You're going to have to pay that back, and that's future income that is now being wasted because you put yourself in such heavy debt. So, what is the path to liberation? Ultimately, the goal is to break free from the cycle of samsara and achieve enlightenment or liberation, which is nirvana. This is the achieving of oneness with the Tao. This is possible only by accumulating positive karma and purging negative karma through ethical living and spiritual practice. Think of it as paying off your debts. Avoid harmful actions. That's a critical step in the journey as it helps cleanse the soul and align with the universal principles of compassion and harmony. In other words, careful budgeting, making sure that you don't take on more negative debt than you need to, right? And paying off the debt you have. Living ethically is a way that you can have a focus on kindness, respect, non-harm, and integrity, and it's essential for fulfilling one's soul purpose as well as achieving liberation from samsara. Each action taken in alignment with these principles helps in accumulating positive karma, balancing out past negative karma. Think of it as like positive income that's outweighing your debts. The more you have, the richer you become. You're progressing on your spiritual path, and this benefits you as an individual, but it also contributes to the greater good, which fosters a more harmonious and compassionate world. Do not think of kindness as weakness. Think of kindness as strength. And the reason why that is because we often mistake kindness for weakness. We think, oh well, you know what? They want to be kind. Shit, that's on them, right? So I'm out to take care of me. I'm only looking out for me. You need emotional resilience, empathy, and self-control because being kind means choosing to act with compassion and understanding, even in difficult situations. This strength can transform relationships, foster trust, and create positive environments. In many philosophies, including Taoism, kindness aligns with the natural order and flow of life, contributing to harmony and balance. I'm not saying that life isn't hard. I'm not saying that life doesn't have pitfalls. I'm not saying there aren't going to be bad days. But what I am saying is that one of the things we need to do is get rid of this idea of turning the other cheek. And this comes primarily from Christian teachings, which advocate for this idea of non-retaliation in the face of aggression. This doesn't work. Yes, it wants to promote this sort of peace and forgiveness, but it's not tenable in most situations. Constantly turning the other cheek actually will lead to exploitation, abuse, and perpetuation of injustice. It can be perceived as passivity, encouraging further harm. Thus, while forgiveness and non-retaliation are valuable, there must be a balance that protects one's dignity and well-being. I think it was Maya Angelou who said, bitterness is a terrible thing because it poisons your soul. So as you turn the other cheek, you're poisoning your soul by not responding to disrespect and harm. But if you have righteous anger, you are allowed to express yourself in the moment and express that you have crossed a boundary that you do not want others to continue to keep crossing, and that there will be repercussions for such aggression. You have a right to safety and dignity. In many philosophical and religious traditions, including Taoism and Buddhism, self-defense is not only permitted, it is promoted. It is considered necessary when one's well-being or life is at risk. Self-defense should be measured and proportional. It should be towards neutralizing the threat rather than escalating the conflict. But at the end of the day, you have to do what you must by any means necessary, as Malcolm X once said. Respecting the sanctity of life and personal integrity means not allowing people to exploit you, walk all over you, mistreat you. So, what we're doing here is we're avoiding aggression by not instigating it, but that doesn't mean that we don't engage in self-defense. Self-defense is absolutely justified, and it's very important. But when we are lashing out at others in anger or malice, that's when we create negative karma and disharmony. We don't need unnecessary aggression. We need peace and stability. It reflects the principle of Wu Wei, which is non-action in Taoism, which encourages effortless action in alignment with the Tao, promoting natural harmony and balance. In other words, you do you. You work on you. You improve you. You are able to do the things that are necessary for your benefit and well-being. And others should do the same for themselves. You're not here to rescue other people. You're not here to save other people. If your light shines to others and it helps them, great. But you're not here to help others on their spiritual journey. They must help themselves. Now, what about Ubuntu? Ubuntu translates to I am because we are, which highlights the belief that individual well-being is tied to the well-being of the community. Living with Ubuntu means acting with kindness, respect, and understanding, respecting that our actions affect others. This philosophy encourages cooperation, mutual support, and a collective effort towards harmony and peace. In other words, understanding that we are all fragments of the divine, we are all fragments of the one. We are separated by our journeys, by our experiences, by our capabilities, but that doesn't mean that we aren't all the same on a fundamental level. And so it's best to promote positive harmony in that respect. Positive harmony involves actively fostering peace, cooperation, and understanding in relationships and communities. It goes beyond merely avoiding conflict. It means creating comfortable environments where everyone can thrive. Now, comfortable doesn't mean passive, comfortable doesn't mean non-competitive, but it just means that you should be a listener, you should be empathetic, you should be empathic or proactive towards resolving disputes. Not everyone is going to win, not everyone is going to get their day, but living in harmony and natural order with others creates a balanced and peaceful life. In other words, if there's an orderly structure and process, then people will believe that they are living in a community where benevolence is promoted. And therefore, respecting others would be fundamental to this benevolent community in maintaining social harmony as well as personal integrity. This respect should be extended to everyone, regardless of their actions, as a reflection of one's own character and values. I'm not saying go ahead and treat child molesters nicely. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm just saying that at the bare minimum, when we are engaged with others and we don't necessarily know their circumstances, it's best to avoid conflict where we can and try to have a respectful and supportive community where everyone can participate, and even people who maybe have done wrong in the past can atone for their actions and find a way to become better. Balanced kindness and self-defense involves recognizing when to show compassion and when to protect oneself. Kindness should be the default approach, promoting positive interactions and harmony. However, when faced with evil, when faced with malice, when faced with aggression, when faced with harm, self-defense becomes necessary to maintain one's dignity and safety. No one is allowed to take advantage of you. No one is allowed to disrespect you. No one is allowed to hurt you. This balance ensures that kindness is not mistaken for weakness and that self-protection does not devolve into unnecessary aggression. In other words, you've got to talk to people and you've got to let them know up front how you feel and what you don't like, and that should be encouraged. Anything that encourages you being silent, you being shrunken down or insignificant is wrong, and you should fight it at every turn. Ethical living is the foundation of a harmonious and respectful life. It involves making conscious choices that reflect values of kindness, respect, and non-aggression. By living ethically, individuals can contribute to a more just and compassionate world, where conflicts are minimized and mutual support is maximized. Ethical living aligns with the principles of Ubuntu and Taoism, fostering a balanced and fulfilling life. In other words, like road rage, right? You shouldn't be getting out of your car and be like, I'm gonna beat the crap out of you, right? No, let it go. Just let the things go. Conclusion: living a harmonious life. Living a life filled with kindness, avoiding unnecessary aggression, and practicing self defense when necessary creates a balanced and harmonious existence. This philosophy of Ubuntu, along with Taoist principles, guides individuals towards a life of respect, positive harmony, and mutual support. By embodying these values, one can navigate the complexities of life with strength and compassion, contributing to a more peaceful and connected world. A world that is robust, a world where individuals are collecting positive karma and paying off negative karma, in which we can all become the very best versions of ourselves, vibrating at higher frequencies and becoming one with our inner Ori, so to speak, right? I hope this has been very helpful for you. I hope you like, share, and subscribe. Please, I love you to continue supporting this channel, and I love you in general, unconditionally, regardless. Have a wonderful and blessed day. Take care.